We actually got a text message today from Melissa and Jeff saying that they realized that they were pretty burnt out and were wondering if we might want to stay around a little bit longer. And Michelle and I talked about it, and I think we're going to. Welcome back.
Welcome. This is our 4th video on working in the oil fields here in Texas.
So this week we're going to share with you our top 5 tips for newbies. We're newbies, but I think we've learned a lot over the last month and a half or so, and we want to share that with you. So we'll start off with tip number 1. Michelle, what is it?
Tip number 1 is you want to find the right company for you. Getting ready for a dust storm to approach. Yeah, I've been seeing it cloudy back there. Not sure enough what it is. Dust storm. Bet you can't guess where I'm at. I am in the guard shack that has been at this gate guarding location since we arrived, and we haven't used it. And I'm beginning to wonder why we haven't used it. These Texas winds are insane. They are like 30 to 35 mile per hour with gusts that are higher than that. And the wind gusts have been wreaking havoc on our RV door. Our RV door was getting nearly impossible to open and close. So we thought, well, let's use this. And it's amazing because now when I open the door inside this guard shack, it's a weighted door, which makes it nice. It's not going to be blown open by the wind. And the windows are big, and it's so easy to see the license plates of the vehicles that come and go. So I'm hoping this evening it won't be very busy with traffic, because being out in this wind, I just feel like I'm coated with dust and dirt. And so I know a shower is going to be in my future tonight before I go to bed, because I just feel so dirty with all this dust blowing around.
And just like that, it's the next morning. What a heck of a day yesterday. That wind was insane. And while we survived, I'm gonna get up later today and check on the roof just to make sure everything's still secure. Our camper door did not survive as well. Gas strut, air strut, whatever you want to call it, that holds the door open, did not survive. I'll show you here. Let me open this door. You can see here, I don't know if you can tell, but it basically busted right off. Hopefully that was in focus. So now down here is where it used to mount. And mounted right there. But no longer. The wind grabbed it and just busted the whole door, winged it all the way open, and we thought, all right, well, we can replace the gas strut. You know, they're like $25 or something, but then this morning I checked and we've got some other damage on the door. Some of those stress cracks have been there for a while, but that big one was not there. And I think it came from the door winging open. The window right here hit this handle. Luckily, it didn't crush our Ring camera, and basically cracked the rest of that styrofoam panel or whatever. So now I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to fix it. I've got a couple ideas. I may try to fill the cracks in with some marine epoxy, and then I'm probably going to see if I can get a piece of metal that will screw across the door completely from frame to frame to help kind of keep it secure so that it doesn't expand and contract as much now that that is all cracked. But that will be a project for later today. I am on shift until 2 p.m. and but, you know, Michelle, there's where Michelle's home was yesterday. She actually spent the whole night in there. I actually got some decent sleep because we weren't having to open and close the door or the chime going off every time we got somebody driving in. So, gate guarding, it's got its challenges, but it's still worth the money. Hey everyone, just wanted to give you guys a quick update. As you guys know, this is our first time doing the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week gates. Michelle's actually in there sleeping. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I think this gig is probably starting to come to an end. The amount of traffic that we've gotten, and today's a Monday. Now, it's the Monday right after Easter, but the amount of traffic that we've gotten today has been significantly reduced from the previous weekdays that we've been here before. So I've heard that tends to indicate the end of a drill. Yesterday, one of the guys checked out. I don't know if he's in charge of anything or just a standard worker here on the oil fields, but I asked him if he had any idea when they were going to stop drilling. He indicated he thought it was going to be Tuesday, which would be tomorrow, but I don't know. There's our rig over there, and we'll see. I sent a text a few minutes ago to our recruiter to see if she could find out and get some information to see if she might know what's going to happen with us if in fact they are done tomorrow. It's possible we stay here because we heard they may frack after this, or this drilling site or rig is going to another location about an hour east of here. Maybe we'll go there, or maybe we'll be done. We'll keep you updated. It's early, folks. So normally I start taking over at 2 a.m., but Michelle's got an important meeting this morning at 9, so I want to try to get her an extra hour of sleep. So I'm gonna go over, or I'm gonna take over here at 1 o'clock in the morning now, and she's currently over at her, what we're referring to as the she shed, which is the guard shack, and we'll go let her know it's time for her to go to bed. What you doing in here?
I was watching some Netflix.
And she's eating her whipped cream and Diet Mountain Dew.
It's my little snack.
So what kind of recommendations do you have for the top 5 list?
What do you mean the top 5 list?
Of what we're sharing this week.
Oh, top 5 list.
This is why she doesn't go unscripted. So, suggestion or tip number 2, ask questions. Ask questions about the company you're looking to work for. Ask questions about the job assignment. These are some of the things that, we've kind of learned over the last month or so of doing some gate guarding. We want to find out, what is the pay for the site? Is it a 24-hour-a-day site? Is it just a 12-hour shift? What is the frequency in which you're going to be paid? One of our companies pays us every 2 weeks. The other company has been paying us every Friday. So that's important to know. Know what the shift is. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it 24/7? Then, how long is the job? This is a touchy subject because a lot of times they don't know, because there's a lot of things that can happen while you're working the drilling rig, and sometimes they'll extend the job assignment far longer than you thought you were going to be there. We thought we were going to be done this past Tuesday. Here we are. It's Friday. There's indications we might not be done till Sunday, but then there's also some of the new staff that are here on site that have told us that we're going to be staying even longer than that. So be flexible and try to get a general idea. If you know that you can only commit to a certain amount of time, then let them know what that is so that they can start planning for your replacement. How much traffic is there? This is one of the challenges with our current site, is there is a ton and ton of traffic, but we don't log in everybody. And that's the other thing. Are you logging in every vehicle in and out? Honestly, in this situation, it would have been easier for us to do that because there's no way really for the drivers to know whether or not they're supposed to log in. We had to create a sign. I think we've shown you that already, and indicating that, hey, if you're going to this specific assignment on this property, and this property is 1,000 acres at least. I know that the one segment down there is 650 by itself. So who are you logging in? Are you logging them in on a paper log, which is what we're doing here? However, one of the other companies we were initially signed up with were using iPads. And at that point, you had to take pictures of the rig that they were coming in on, their license plate, check the bed of their truck and all of that. So every job's a little different. So know, who are you logging in? Are you logging in everybody? And how are you logging them in? Where is your RV going to be set up? How far from the site are you going to be? Are you going to be very close to the rig where you can hear the noise all day long? Or in this case, we're probably a good half a mile away logging people in. But it is extremely dusty, so keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to have your windows open a lot of the day, at least at a job assignment like this. And from what I understand, that's probably true about most of the sites. And ultimately then, are you having to manually go out, open and close the gate? In this assignment, we just leave the gate open. People come and go as they please. We're not having to get up every 5 minutes to unlock the gate or open the gate. But some job assignments, they do. So that's tip number 2, all wrapped up into asking questions.
Tip number 3 is the equipment that you're going to need. One piece of equipment that you're going to need is lights. And sometimes lights are provided at the site for you by the company, and sometimes they are not. Luckily, ours was provided. You might find it helpful to have a driveway chime. The brand we use is the Owl brand. It was actually left with us from Alyssa, who was here before us. And you can choose up to 4 sensors on it. You may find it helpful to have a video camera so that you can keep an eye on traffic that's coming in and out. You may also want to consider getting steel-toed boots while you're working out here as a gate guard. And something else that Kyle did to kind of personalize our safety vest is he made name tags for us just to give it that personal touch.
So tip number 4 for newbies, figure out what shift you guys want to work. So what do we do, Michelle?
We work 12-hour shifts. I work 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then he works 2 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah, originally we thought we might do 6 to 6, but after talking to Alyssa and Jeff, we figured we'd try 2 to 2, and we basically have just stuck with that. One of the other couples that had reached out to us mentioned that they do 2 8-hour shifts, and then they split the last 8-hour shift just as needed. So they'll work, for example, from 1 a.m. to 9, and from 9 to 7, and then from 7 to 1 in the morning. Then they'll just kind of split things up. So that's tip number 4. Figure out what shifts you're going to work.
Tip number 5 is once you arrive to your spot, you want to find out where things are. What are you going to need? You're going to need groceries. Find out where the nearest grocery stores are, gas stations, propane, and even laundry.
So we hope those tips were helpful, and before you leave, we just wanted to give you a quick update on how I did fixing the door. So what I ended up doing is I got a couple pieces of aluminum, drilled some holes and riveted them. Well, I painted it and then riveted them into the frame of the door to help give it some stability. I then went through, this is still wet, but that is marine epoxy, and hopefully, oh, that's Marley trying to see what's going on and sniffing, but that's marine epoxy, so it'll be hardening up here pretty soon. So hopefully that'll give the door some more stability. We also decided not to replace the gas strut and instead got some friction hinges. Currently there is only 1 friction hinge on here. We're testing it out with just 1, but it did come with 2, so we may put another one down there, just depending upon how much resistance we want. So that's going to wrap it up for us this week, folks. Hope you enjoy this experience at gate guarding, and we hope you'll tune in next week when I think this job's wrapping up, and we're going to take you along with us as we end this assignment and whatever's next. See you next week.